What up guys, Shells here and welcome back to World of Tanks. I hope all of you are doing well and that your last week or so has been going great. We're wrapping up the summer here and we'll be starting the next school year, at least for some of you, so that is something to look forward to, I think, in my opinion. I always looked forward to studying academically and learning new things. But anyway, today we're going to be looking at a game I had in my T49 on Murovanka, and it's kind of coincidental and funny that this video and this battle happened so recently, right after the last video that I released on my channel, also in my T49 and also on Murovanka. That particular game I think was standard mode and from the north spawn. This particular game is encounter mode and from the south spawn. Before I start rambling too much, let's just get started here. And you can see from the tiering that the matchup is really nice. There's only 3 tier 9s on each side, so and only one arty. So the T49 is already a scout that is more of a medium than it is a vision scout, at least early to mid game. So you already focus more on doing damage than getting vision, although you need to get vision where it's relevant, of course. But since I'm so high tier in this battle, that means I need to pay extra attention to damage opportunities. Taking the snapshot there on the Type 59 because he was going to reverse back into cover. Unfortunately, the timing was really bad, and this AMX 1390 on the enemy team decided that he would come over and push right after I fired. So unfortunately, I'm reloading now. Really lazy shot. I should have some skill that I've been trying to work on and improve in my gameplay is actually manually aiming while driving at the same time, which is some multitasking, which I'm not always good at. So what I should have done there on the shot on the AMX 1390 was, since I was already driving the direction I wanted to, just undo auto aim and fire manually. But so that is the reason that we part of the reason that we missed that shot. But now I've shifted over to the west side of the map, aka the 1, 2, 3 lines, because I did a quick mini-map count and the enemy team have a large significant force in the forest, and I cannot provide any flanking support from the 7 line because the enemy have a large presence there. So that is the main area that you use to provide flanking vision and flanking fire into the forest is from the 7 line, and so since I can't be there, I'm kind of useless to my team if I try to sit there on that side of the map. So rather than trying to be an anvil and taking the hits and brawling with tanks, I will come over here and help my team push this really big overmatch that we have over here. There's only one E75 at the moment in this location, and our team have a large amount of tanks here. Let's see, that's 6 of us so far, I think. 7 including myself. But this E75 is going to live for an incredibly long period of time, despite the fact that we have so many tanks over here, and I will be doing the majority of the damage to him before he dies, because my team is simply not willing to drive around to his side to get damage, and now it's too late to drive around to the side of the E75 because some of his teammates, like the CDC here and Lerva, etc., have come over to back him up. Now I'm actually still got like 15 seconds on my reload here, and this AMX CDC is completely oblivious to me, and don't interrupt the enemy when they are making a mistake. So if he wants to ignore me, I'm just gonna fall around behind him and wait till I'm reloaded and wait for an opportunity to get a good penning shot on him. Now what I did there is, you notice I didn't fire right away when I was loaded. I waited for his tank traverse across my gun to zero out as much as possible, aka he's not driving perpendicular to me very much. I waited for him to start driving straight away from me. That way that increases the chances of me hitting him. And we were able to pen the back of his tank since the CDC is so poorly armored, and we were able to light him on fire and get him killed. Unfortunately, our team have been trading badly pretty much everywhere all over the field. Taking the snapshot there on the Lerva just because he was going to drive into cover, those are the kinds of shots that I try to teach myself to take more of when you don't have much to lose other than the time of your reload, which is of course more significant on the T49. But if you have a line of cover in between yourself and the enemy, like this ridge line, go ahead and take the shot. You have nothing to lose. You might hit, and then you'll be up on HP that much more. Was trying to hit the back of the T32 there into that engine block there, because it's really poorly armored, but unfortunately the shot goes a little high into the little left, and it clips his side and part of his tracks, so it doesn't pen. But we get him tracked, and someone else on our team is able to shoot him while he's tracked. I think that's the SU-101. Also, if you, as a side note here, if you've been paying attention to chat, there's a certain KV5 on our team who's been pretty vocal in chat about how terrible our team is, and how he's basically Erwin Rommel, right? I like to call these characters Erwin Rommels. They think they know everything, and they are only too happy to let everyone know that they think they know everything. But it's quite amusing in the post-battle results how much he did, and his thinking that he's entitled to share an opinion like that. But anyway, back to the battle. We're able to secure the kill on the T32 and drive straight into a building there. That was some awesome driving skills. Now I know that the enemy T54E1 is an autoloader. He's very dangerous. He only needs to hit 2 of his rounds to kill me, and the T49 does not have very good acceleration for a scout. It has a decent top speed, a pretty good top speed at 72 kilometers per hour, but its horsepower to ton ratio is a little sluggish. So after I killed the enemy T32 and unfortunately drove into the building like a pro driver there, I lost all my momentum to run away in that direction, so I had to take a chance and hope that the 54E1 went over to the east side of the ridge, aka the 4 line in the C4 and D4 area, and my only escape route was actually going back south down the 2 line, hopefully that he would stay on the other side of the ridge line from me. So, and luckily it worked. I wanted to stop and take a shot at the M103 because he was a one-shot, but the T54E1 correctly assumed the direction that I had gone, and he had doubled back south. And now I'm just trying to run away and keep my distance from him. I'm waiting for an opportunity to stop and aim and get a shot in here, that he's the appropriate distance away, that I won't get spotted when I fire. Like that. And we get him tracked as well, so hopefully that would give an opportunity for our M12 to shoot him here, but unfortunately I think our M12 was in a depression, so he couldn't shoot the T54E1. And unfortunately our M12 misses his shotgun shot and doesn't do any damage to the 54E1. It would have been nice for him to do a little bit of damage to him, that way potentially the T54E1 would be a one-shot for me, but the 54E1 is still a two-shot for me, unfortunately, so that means I'm going to have to kite him significantly in the battle for a little bit longer if I have a hope of killing him. Now, my tactical thinking here is I don't want to engage the 54E1. I want to go over and kill the 103 real quick before, and even the odds to at least a 1v1 before I start engaging the 54E1. The other reason I want to kill the 103 now is because I don't want to run the risk of the 54E1 coming back and double capping with the 103. That means that I'd be forced to engage two targets at the same time. So I want to engage them while they're separated and kill one of them while they're separated from each other and they can't support each other. If I wait too long, they'll be able to regroup, and then I really won't have a very good chance of killing either of them without dying myself. Really lucky that the 103 missed his first shot on me, and I'm not sure why he didn't pull the trigger there. I did have the HP to spare one shot, taking one shot of damage, but really it doesn't really matter in the big scale things, because this T54E1 has such a large clip damage potential. He could kill me with even half of his clips. So it is nice to have that HP buffer to spare, and that margin of error. If you miss a shot, or you get a low roll or something like that. But anyway, now my thinking is I need to keep my distance here. I don't want to engage this 54E1 until I respot him. A lot of times people engage enemy tanks without understanding the intentions of the enemy player. You got to remember that you're not just fighting enemy vehicles, you're fighting enemy players, right? So there's quite a significant psychological aspect to playing in World of Tanks, where you need to understand not only the enemy tank's abilities, their offensive capabilities with their gun, their armor values, their mobility, their camo rating and view range, and all that. You also need to understand and study the enemy player's behavior to see what he's wanting to do, and that way you can come up with a better plan to counter that. So right now I'm just trying to refine the T54E1 again. Preferably I'm trying to find him at range. I don't want to come up on him by surprise, like right around the next building or right over a ridgeline or whatever. So I'm being really careful here in how I'm peeking these ridgelines, trying to find him, because I don't want to commit into a next section of the map and then him being right there and then me not having an option of retreat. So we find him there sitting just outside the cap circle there for some reason. I think he was potentially trying to bait us, as he had driven through the cap circle and then stopped. So maybe he was trying to bait us, which is a pretty clever tactical move on his part. But now we know where he is. He's still a two-shot for us unless we can get a penning shot through the spaced armor of his tracks, or behind him on his engine block, which is pretty unlikely because we'll probably be shooting him frontally. One particular location I like to check when I'm trying to reset the cap circle in encounter mode from Murovanka here is there's kind of a mirror position from the other side in D1, and this is the spot here in G1 that I try to use. There's this little bush right here that I like to use to try and spot enemy tanks that are capping from stealth. Kind of hard to hide the T49 in that bush, as the T49 is such a big tank. And I inched my way, if you notice there, I inched my way little by little over the ridgeline. That's a technique that you'll find really helps you out in playing the T49. You don't have to re-aim as long because your reticle hasn't bloomed as much because of your movement. Because I didn't spot the T54E1 on the west side of the cap circle from that G1 position, I know he's in this little valley draw area here behind that vision area, and I basically decide, okay, I'm going to play the engagement here on this house. I know I have the superior mobility. I can play ring around the rosy with him until I've reloaded. I've already put one shot into him, and it's only going to take one more shot to kill him. And fortunately, there was no chance of not doing that amount of damage because he was really nice and gave us the broadside of his tank. If he had come around the corner facing us full frontal, well, the front of his turret and his hull, there was a chance that my shell might not have done the sufficient 296 damage. But he gave us his side and we're able to finish him off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this game. I made several bad marksmanship errors during the course of this battle. My shot on the AMX 1390 at the beginning of the game, and my shot on the T32, I think it was a little bit rushed, and several other positioning errors that I could have reacted a little bit better. Also my pro driving skills running into buildings in B4 towards the mid game. But the general strategic thing that I tried to do during the course of this battle is the first tactical decision I made is knowing when to retreat, right? When you look at your team's dispersion and pay attention to enemy tanks as they are getting spotted, and you'll be able to just do rough math in your head and figure out which area of the map you have an advantage on. I did a quick mini-map count and checked the sniper support that we had on the forest side at the beginning of the game and figured we don't have enough forces over here to keep these tanks from pushing up over onto me, so that's why I left. Our MT25 did not recognize that and he died immediately as enemy T32 and an IS-6 pushed over and killed him. So knowing when to run away is very important, and finding areas of the map where you can push an advantage, flank enemy tanks and isolated enemy tanks, like that E75 at the very beginning of the game where he jumped into the cap circle really early. That's a really good example. And just always keeping my distance, right? A lot of people like to throw ego games into it where, oh, you're a pansy, you're not fighting, you're not brawling like a man. But it's just dumb to not play your tank to your strengths. If you're a heavy tank and you have armor and you got alpha or whatever, then go ahead and brawl, take the hits for your team, be the anvil for your team. But if you're a light tank, your strengths of your tank is view range, mobility, and camo rating. So that is what you need to do to be successful in that vehicle. So keep your distance, always keep the enemy at arm reach, and dictate the terms of engagement by you and not by them, and you'll be more and more successful. Once again, hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Take care and happy hunting.